All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to share my screen with you so I can show you exactly how to use Screencastify to record different types of lessons or read-alongs for your students. So I'm going to present my screen. Okay, here we go. We have an awesome group here. I hope everybody's doing really well. Okay, so now you can see my screen. So I'm going to go over to our website just to give you an idea of how we can use this first. And I'm going to show you, the first thing that I'll show you is actually how to locate the icon. So if I bring my cursor up to the top bar right here where we put in our the URL, I'm going to move my cursor over and it looks like a little arrow with a white dot inside of it. It's white and then it will turn red when we start recording later on. That's Screencastify. So I'm going to click on that so that you can see what the menu looks like, and we'll go over each aspect of the menu. So the first option here is webcam only. So what that will do is it's going to record me speaking towards my computer, towards the internal video recording camera. And that would be a great option if I just want to record a welcome message to students and have them be able to watch it later. If I wanted to read a story to students and they can watch it later. All of this, I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to send via email and Google Drive and also Google Classroom. And the reason why we chose this tool and the other tools that you'll get in PD while we're on this flexible learning time period is we're trying to find things that not only will work through your Chrome browser and through your computer, but it's also something that students have on their end. So I've been using Screencastify since about 2015 to do different types of screen recordings. And there are the things that we choose, we know we've tested and that they work well and that they're easy to use. So, and that's why we push them out. So if someone knows how to use something else, like a different type of movie, screen recording type of thing, that's fine. You can totally use that. But this is something we're trying to teach you things that can also be taught to your students, because then eventually they would be able to do kind of like the same thing and share assignments with you. So the first thing is the webcam. I'll demonstrate that right now. So if I click on the webcam, again, this is great for meetings and also to record you reading a story. And you'll see that the microphone option is on. And it's going to be the default microphone that is built in. So you're just going to leave that set there. And then we want the HD camera, which is not showing right now. So you have inherent in your MacBook and also inherent in student Chromebooks, there's a built-in camera that can be used to do this. So I'm going to select record. Okay, so now you can see that I am speaking directly to my students. Are you able to see this?
No, we can't see what you're putting.
Wait, I'm sorry. We can't see it. Okay, sorry. Let me try this again. I know what I did wrong. Sorry about that. See, nobody's perfect here. And that's okay. Okay, so now you see, so what I did when I presented my screen, I chose the window instead of the entire desktop. And I'll explain that in a minute. So that was my fault. I apologize. Let me do this again here. So again, we bring our cursor up to the toolbar. We pull it over to that that icon, the arrow pointing to the right, and we click on Screencastify. The menu will pop up. Okay, so here we have the webcam only again. Again, here we have our microphone turned on, and we'll see that the camera will be turned on in a moment once I hit record. You may already see that your camera would be lit up red. If it looks like this and it's gray, that means that the camera's off, the microphone's off, or the camera's off. So let's click record.
I'm sorry, but we're still not seeing anything.
I'm gonna have to edit this a lot later, huh? Try this one more time.
I was able to see it that time. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I was.
Okay, let me try one more time. Let's go and get rid of that here. Okay, present. Okay, so can you see the screen now? You can see yourselves? Thumbs up if yes. Yeah, okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over here. And again, we're going to the address bar, and I'm clicking on the Screencastify icon. Okay, webcam is on, microphone is on, camera will turn on in a moment. I click record. Okay, and now you should be able to see me speaking to you in a separate window with my background here with my web browser. I'm just going to turn back to make sure that that's good. Everybody was able to see that? Yeah? Okay, great. So let me bring back that screen again, and see I'm just pulling it down. It's hidden right back here. And so this is where I'm recording a message to my students, and I can speak directly to them. I can record me showing them a book. And what you'll notice down here is you have options. So if my dog suddenly starts barking and I have to select pause, I can pause the video. Okay, so I just paused it right there, and then you'll see that right here it turns into resume. It's also giving me a countdown of how long the video has been thus far. So I'll just resume it and keep recording. And then once I'm done, I simply select stop. Okay, and now what you'll notice is that a brand new tab is loading in my browser, and it's showing me exactly what I had just recorded. So you'll notice that at the beginning, when it starts, up here it starts as muted. So if you want to click for it to be not muted so that you can hear what you've recorded, you can do that. I'm not going to do that right now so that it doesn't interfere with the rest of the learning experience. But you'll notice here that it's playing back, and I'll go over what these scissor tools are in a moment. But first I want to show you how you can share out this video. So one thing you can do is you can copy the shareable link, and you would just click on that, and the link is copied, and then you could go into any document, an email, your Google Classroom, and just copy and paste the link. Every video is automatically saved to Google Drive in a Screencastify folder, and I will show you exactly where to find that in a few minutes. I'm going to go over some other options that you have here, okay? So here we have other share options, and I absolutely love these, and I hope you do too, because they're super, super simple. So for those of you that are using Google Classroom, you can simply click Share to Classroom. Another window will pop up, and you can choose your class. So I am going to choose my flexible instruction, my test flexible instruction site, or Google Classroom class, I should say. And then you choose your action. So you get the same actions that you get when you're using Google Classroom in and of itself. You can create an assignment, ask a question, make an announcement, or create material. So this might be a nice way to just simply pose a question to students and have them respond back to it. When I show you how to do the actual screencast, where we're taking a screencast of our screen to try to show students how to navigate something or to do a lesson, you might want to use an assignment, or you can simply make an announcement if you're just sharing a morning message or a video of you reading or a nice, just a message, a welcome message to your students, or you can create material. So I'm just going to choose to make an announcement, and I'll select go. And so one of the things I love about this is you can do a one and done. So even though I have flexible instruction here, I can also click on my other classes to do the same thing and share it out with them. So I'm going to just click on a couple of things here. All right. And then, so I'm sharing it with 3 classes. And I can choose, and in this case, if I choose more than one class, it's going to go to all students. But let's say, for example, I decided to just do it with one class. Then if I click over here, I can choose all students or the students in the class. Now notice that there's only one student showing up here, and that's just because this is my test account and I only added 1 test student. Had I added more, you would see more students here. So you can share a specific message with one student, some students, or all students. Then what you'll notice here is post is grayed out unless you type a message. So I'm going to say, hi. Okay, so I just write that little message there, and as soon as I posted something, now I have the option to post. So now that's that black button. And I can choose to post it right now, schedule it, or save it as a draft, and then I can go into my Google Classroom and I can edit it or schedule it at that point. So I'm just going to choose to post this. And now it's posting, and that's it. And I can click view, and I can go directly to Google Classroom to view that. But I'm going to skip that for now, if that's okay. I'm going to pull back here to check in on you guys. How are we doing? Good so far? Okay, great. You guys are awesome. Sorry about that little my little mistake before, but it's good to make mistakes because we learn from them, and this is not these tools are simple to use, but it takes a little while to get comfortable with them. And sometimes even when you're comfortable with them, you have an off day or an off moment, and you make a mistake too, even though you know what you're doing. So just so you know that, you be kind to yourselves as you go throughout this process. The other option is probably not going to be super popular, since Google Classroom and also Google Drive are like super simple to use. But if you do have a YouTube channel and you wanted to publish it to YouTube, you could select that and choose your channel, choose who can view the video, and then select upload. I'm not going to do that right now because this is just a test. The other option, which is super simple and easy, and I love it, is to send it in email. So you click on send an email, and if you watch my browser up at the top, you'll notice that another tab opened, and it's going to automatically launch my Gmail. And once it loads, it's going to give me the option to send to whomever I want. And please, feel free, for those of you that have, maybe like family members that, aren't super tech savvy, but you can record a video for them if they're not on Facebook or Instagram or something, and you wanted to just record a welcome message, maybe for someone who you can't connect with in person through like FaceTime or something. Feel free to use this to send them a welcome message too, and you can email it to anybody that you want. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger for you. So it automatically says Screencastify recording. It tries to give you as little to do as possible. So you can always change and modify this title. And it starts out by saying, check out this video I recorded with Screencastify, and then it gives you the direct link. If you want to send something more formal than this message that they automatically give to you, you can, you know, edit that and say whatever you like, or you can leave it that way. It's completely up to you. And then all you would do is type the person who is going to get the video. I'm going to use Mike here. I'm not going to send it to you though. I'm not going to send it. But then you would click send, and then it's on its way. Okay.
You're famous.
Send it. You want it? Okay. There you go. Incoming. All right. Let me close that tab and then come back here again. So then there are more options. Okay. For those of you with younger students, you can generate a QR code, and that you can download it or copy it, and then also send that out to them or embed it in your template, whatever you choose to do. You would just simply download it or copy it. It's going to let you know that it was copied, and then you can go in and paste that into a document or an email. This one I'm not going to go over. If you're interested in that and you do, you know, your own HTML web design and you want to do that advanced option, I can show that to you at another time. And then you can also choose to download it just to like your desktop or something. But I would suggest kind of leaving these options out and just using the Google Drive links and the share to classroom or the send an email. The only option that I would potentially use down here is to export the audio only. Let's say that, you know, I was, you know, really comfortable with the way that it sounded, but I didn't really want to share my video for whatever reason. You could always record the entire video and audio, but then just export the audio only. And then that would export, and then I will get a message that it's been exported, and I can click to download it, and then I can send that out. And in that case, that's going into my downloads folder, which I can show you right here. So here's my downloads. Okay, my downloads folder. I know this is kind of small, and here's that MP3 that I just downloaded. Just for your own record keeping and organizational tip right here is once it's dark blue like this, if I click on it again, it just one more time. So I click on it, it's blue. I click over the words again, and then it gives me the ability to title it differently. So I would write video message, and that will just help me that just kind of helps me stay organized instead of having that generic type of you know, title. So let me come back here and check in with you guys. How we doing? Do we have any questions about the webcam?
I have a question.
Yes.
I've been using it almost all week, Melissa. All of a sudden, though, when I went to record the last 2 days and I hit the record button, I can't see my face as I'm recording.
Okay. Let me, I'm going to look into that with you. We'll test it out right now. And I'll find out if there's an issue with Screencastify, and I'll get back.
It comes up when I'm done. When I go back and watch it, my face is on there. But as I'm recording it, I can't see it anymore in the bottom right.
Okay.
That's because you scared the camera.
So what I think may be happening is that, and I can demonstrate it for you, but if you click on, okay, let me demonstrate this for you. I think this is what we're talking about here. So once I'm done with this, I'm just going to close out this tab, and I'll come back here, and we're going to try this again, and I'll see if I can recreate what you're talking about, Mike. So if I click on Screencastify one more time, and I want to record the webcam, and this time I'm going to try to do what Mike is talking about, where I'm recording the desktop, but I'm also recording myself speaking. So this is really great when you want to do a screencast. So I will demonstrate a screencast with this embedded to give you an idea of how to use it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you, I'm going to make a video to show students and parents how to navigate our flexible instruction website. So first thing I'm looking at here is I want to click on my desktop. Now, know that I'm going to have a choice to record the entire desktop, which is what I want to do. And that's everything from top to bottom and left to right. So it's going to record everything. Again, my microphone is on. It's the default built-in microphone, so you don't need anything special or fancy. But if you wanted to use a headset with a microphone, you could do that also. And then you would just need to choose that from one of the options. But in my experience, if you're close enough to your laptop, you don't need anything extra. Embed webcam is selected, and it's showing me my FaceTime HD. That is the internal camera for your MacBook. So now I select record. Now the windows pop up. So I want to make sure that my entire screen, everything back here from left to right, top to bottom, is going to be selected. If I just choose an application window, then I have to choose between my Google and my my little picture-in-picture here. And that's what I did before, and I made that mistake of not doing my entire screen for the Google Meet. So what I want you to do here is click on this. So once you have to click on it and choose the screen in order to share. So I'm going to click, I'm going to go back here and go back here. You have to select this and click on it. Make sure you have that faint blue line around it in order for it to in order for it to have the share feature turned on. Now I'm going to share it. Okay, so I'm going to move this over, because if I don't move it over, then once I click on this, it can kind of like slip into the background sometimes. So that may be what's happening for you, Mike. So let's just kind of go through this and see if this works well, and because there may be something else going on that I can help you with after this meeting.
Okay.
So this is where I'm going to demonstrate. And I don't know if you guys noticed the 3, 2, 1 countdown when I chose to start the recording. And then if you can see up here too, I have this little red icon now. It used to be white, overlaying the Screencastify logo. So I'm going to choose to right now record how to navigate the website. So students can see me. I can give them a little welcome message. They can see me almost like as if I'm in the classroom. So, hi kids, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to navigate the website. So the first thing you'll do after you go to, and I would make sure that they know exactly where to go, and click on the link in your in the email that I sent to you. Once you click on that link, you will come to this page. Now, if you're doing something like this, you want to go slowly, and you want to make sure that you're very clear about where to click. I'm going to actually choose a mouse pointer over here. So there's this focus feature that I just turned on, and I'll explain that a little bit more later, that can kind of help highlight things, which may be helpful for your students. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose grade 3, because my students are in 3rd grade. And I'm going to say, students, you want to click on the VDV grade 3 tab. Next thing you want to notice is you have your choice boards, your Clever login link, and your directions. And I keep going until I'm done explaining what my students need to know. When I'm finished, I come up to the icon again up here, and I click on Screencastify. This will load again, and I am going to stop the recording. Now, I could have also, if I decided that I didn't like it at all, I can click on the trash can and delete it. If I had done several recordings, I can kind of go back and, skip back a little bit. We're not going to do that now. That will be in the advanced version later. But I could also pause it. So let's say, for example, it took a couple of seconds for my screen to load. I could pause it and then go back. Or if, you had some background noise and you needed to just pause it real quick and then resume, you can do that. But I'm going to resume right now. And then you'll notice it changed from that play button to the pause button. When you see the pause button, that means that you're recording. and you can see that it's counting right here. And then I'm going to click stop. And my new browser tab opens again. Okay, so once again, now we're looking at everything that we've recorded. You can see that it is muted again, and you can see that you know, everything that I was doing on my screen has been recorded. One thing that I didn't mention earlier is if you are doing something like this, a screen recording, you want to make sure that you only have relevant tabs open up at the top. You don't want to have anything open that you don't need. And you also really want to limit the number of tabs that are open to just what you need. That will help performance and make sure that your computer doesn't lag. Another tip that I think is helpful is if you choose to do a recording like this, it's a good idea to completely restart your computer, open up your Chrome browser fresh, get your tabs ready, and then start with your recording. That will definitely help increase the speed and reduce lag time. So let me just move forward here a little bit so you can kind of see where we did that highlight feature, which was nice to kind of, you turn it on and turn it off once you click on something to kind of highlight where you're going. So again, you have the same options over here. Share to Google Classroom. Same thing, you click on it, you choose your, you choose the class, you choose the students, and you choose whether it's an assignment or a question, and you're good to go. I'm going to close that out. You also have the publish to YouTube, send an email, and generate the QR code, or download in the audio only. I wouldn't suggest doing an audio only for this because it's a screencast, and screencasts are meant to be a visual step-by-step display of what you want students to do, whether it's navigating a site or whether you're trying to teach a skill through a website. Okay, I'm going to close this out and check back in on you guys.
I have a question. When I click on the Screencastify icon in the top, it says that there's a 5-minute limit because it's Screencastify free and that I need to upgrade. Is that something that
yes, I sent out an email before break with the code and directions. So I will reshare that. I'm just going to write that down now to reshare that code. Once, and thank you for bringing that up, because once you do that, I'm going to show you here. Once you put in that code, and there's a video step-by-step instructions on how to do that, but then you'll notice that here it says Screencastify Unlimited instead of that 5-minute limit. So that's how you'll know that it works. You'll get an email confirmation that you completed that process, and then you'll also get you'll see that it changes here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question too. Is this only to record like a website, or let's say, I mean, this is a poor example, but let's say I wanted to show my calendar to my kindergarten students and like point to each day and record that. Can I do that, or is it just website browsers?
So where is your calendar located? Like what?
Like on the bottom with like next to my Google Chrome. It's not within. I mean, I guess I could use it within. I'm trying to think like my smart notebook files, let's say.
Yeah, so you can do that. So the one thing that you'll have to do, and let me see if I can pull up something else here. Let's do like I'll just download something real quick. Do I have any? I don't have anything here. I have them somewhere. Let me try. I know what I'll do. Okay, so it's kind of like the same idea. And we'll go over this too before we break off, but kind of the same idea. I would start with a browser tab open, and then off to the side, I would also have something else open. So let me open like just the Smart Notebook and just like start from scratch.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try with a different file. Let me try with something that I have in, like, let's say a PowerPoint. Okay, opening. Okay, so you can still see this on my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say I'm going to teach students how to create a PowerPoint, which is, you know, we want to teach students not to use PowerPoint, so this is a poor example. But we'd rather teach them how to use Google Slides, and we have some PD coming up on that. But just to give you an idea of, you know, how to do this with a different window. So I still have to start from a browser tab, and then I have to choose to do. I have the two options. I do the desktop with the embedded webcam or without it. So I could do the desktop and show myself speaking to students, or I could do it without. So this time I'll just do it without so that you guys get the idea of the difference between the two. You're choosing desktop because you want to show anything that you have open on your screen. So I would choose record. And so here you can see everything on my screen, top to bottom and left to right. I would choose this and share. And then I would make this what students are focused on, okay? So I want to kind of limit anything extra in the background, but I didn't make this window for the PowerPoint as big as my window for my browser, because once I'm done navigating and showing students, here's where you enter the title. Write your name. Okay, once I'm done doing all of that and explaining, I still have to come back to my browser and end the recording. So I'm going to do that now. I click on it. I can, again, pause it or stop it. I'm going to stop it. It's going to open up that new browser tab once again to show me my video. Now, this is a great example, and I'm glad that you asked that, because now I can kind of show you how to clip the front and back end of the of your video. So I want students to see once I've gotten to the point where I'm happy with my window and then I started. So I'm going to say that, like, right about here, that's where I want to start my video. So it was about like 18 seconds. So I just take my scissors over here and drag over to that 18-second mark. Okay. And then at the end, I can also kind of drag over to get rid of that end part where I'm finishing my recording. So I will bring it over until I'm satisfied with that clip. And then I just save the trim. And now it's going to remove everything on the beginning end and on the end that I wanted to remove, and just give me whatever's in that like coral pink color in the middle. So I'm going to click trim. And it will trim, and then it will save the new video, and then I will be able to replay it. There are, and I will do in the 12 o'clock session, advanced options to be able to trim things in the middle and, you know, and make like a break, like if I wanted to stop it right here and take out that part. But I just wanted to show you, just on the simple version of the beginner version, how to just trim the beginning and the end. So you can see that all of that external stuff that may have been confusing to the kids as I was getting ready to record this other application, now all of that is gone, and students just see the meat of what I wanted to show them. Okay, so you can record any type of application, browser window, anything that that you would like to record with yourself, as well as you know, with you in the video or you not in the video. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. The other option would be to choose just the browser tab. Now, what that does is it gives you the option of just a few browser tabs. So just bear with me a moment. I want to turn on a, I want to turn something on here and make it a little bit easier for you. Okay. Just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see, I have a separate thing that I downloaded a few years ago that's just going to highlight where my cursor is. So these are tabs within your browser. So you can see I have my mail open, I have my calendar open, I have my my drive open. Can you guys all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I have several different tabs open. Now, if I choose to record just my browser tab, I can only pick one of these. So I could start recording on this tab, but then if I wanted to navigate back out to another browser tab to show students something else, I can't do it. It won't show up. I'll be locked into just the one that I'm choosing right now. So I'll choose to record. And it's only going to record this browser tab. So I kind of like to stay away from that one, because if there's a point that you need to navigate from between a Google Doc and a you know, your accounting website or your biology website and a Google slide, you won't be able to do that that well. So I like to just kind of forget about that one altogether and just have my selected tabs ready to go, and that's why I like to do the whole desktop. Okay, I'm going to stop that recording. Okay, actually, let's pause for a moment on this recording. And I want to show you, I'm going to go over these in more detail down here in the next, in our next video, but or our next Hangout at 12, but I just wanted to kind of make note of these things. So you have some tools down here. This pointer is the cursor option that I was showing you before. So this one's called the focus mouse. That's the one that kind of highlights just that one area. And it can also highlight your clicks or hide the cursor when it's not moved. And again, I'll go over those in greater detail. There's a pen feature where you can choose to circle and highlight things that are important for students to know. And you can also kind of write depending on how great you are with the trackpad or the mouse. And then you can also choose to erase. So you can erase just by hovering over the line, or you can completely erase by wiping the whole screen by choosing this little square up here in the corner. And then this can kind of turn my webcam on or off. So if I wanted to kind of jump in and out, show myself sometimes, but not all the time, I can click on that that little video icon, and I can pop in and pop out. I can also hide the tools by clicking on the X if I thought that those might be distracting to some students. So I'm going to come up here and end my video.
Where do we get those tools? Do they show up in the bottom?
They show up in the bottom once you're ready to record, yes.
Okay.
So again, this is loading my my video that I just recorded, and you'll be able to see how I used some of those, some of the writing features in a moment. you won't be able to do that that well. Where's my writing here? Site and a Google Slide. I think I skipped over already. My selected tabs ready to go, and just for a moment on this recording. Oh, you know what I did? I never pressed to start the recording again. That was my fault. I can show you guys that again. And I guess it's been a long week for me, huh? Okay, let me try to show you guys that again so you can see how it records. So I'm going to go over here to our website again. I'm going to choose to record my screen. And this time I'm going to choose the entire desktop because that one is my favorite with the embedded webcam. I just think that's the easiest. It gives me the best of all worlds. Remember that this share button is grayed out right now because I have to actually click on the window in order for it to, in order for that to show up. So you have to click and make sure that you see that faint blue line around it, and then click share. Okay, so there's my countdown, 3, 2, 1. I'm ready to go. I come down here, notice that my tools are available. I'm going to select the pen feature. I'm going to show students that if you weren't able to do the current lessons, or if you have something that you need to go back and finish, go to the lesson archive. Let me choose my pen here. Go to the lesson archive and click on that link to bring you to a lesson that should have already been completed so you can finish making up your work. I can also do my 2 + 2 here. And then I can, again, go back and just remove some of it or remove all of it by clicking on that square, and now it's gone. Okay, so now I'm done recording. I'm going to come up here and stop my recording. My new browser tab will open up and we will see our video. Okay, so you can see that it's showing the video where I'm starting to get ready to write. Selecting my pen tool. Lesson archive. And click on that link to bring. Okay, and then we see how I am, using the writing tool. And, just remember that that's an overlay, so that's only going to overlay on top of the screen, and then you can kind of wipe it away. So once again, I just kind of want to show you guys that, every time you finish your video, they're going to see at the very end when you're done, you going up here and ending it. So that's why it's great to have that end trim tool, because as soon as you're done, you can just trim that up by pulling. Remember, you got to pull that that scissor icon over and then save the trim, and then that will be deleted. So it's probably a good idea to at least trim the back end of all of your videos so that students aren't, seeing that as well. And it also makes your videos a little shorter. Again, you have all of the same features that you did before to share to Classroom, share in your email, or to download the audio if necessary.
Melissa?
Yes.
Can I ask you a quick question about trim?
Yeah.
Does it trim audio also?
So it's going to trim the video and the audio from the front and the back.
Okay.
In the advanced version, I'll show you how to trim in the middle, and that would help you remove audio as well.
Okay, so it is trimming out any words also that you might have said at the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
So that's okay. So you may want to, when you first start recording, give yourself a moment to kind of like take a breath, get ready to start the video. And then even though it's giving you that 3, 2, 1 countdown, maybe you give yourself like a 5 to 10 second, get me where I need to go, make sure I'm ready, then start your recording. And then this way you don't have to worry about, about that dead space in the middle, in the beginning, because you can just trim that out. And the same thing at the end, when you go to close out your recording, you can just take that out too.
Okay, great. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, well, zoomed in there a little too much. Okay, what other questions can I address for you? Okay, let me go over here and just review a couple of things with you about creating videos, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about, just the experience. So when you are creating videos, you just want to make sure that you've reviewed this document. If you need me to share it out again, I can. You're just reviewing our social media and posting policies. So you want to make sure that when in these videos, you are not using any student images or voice recordings, because we're still working on the consent opt-in or opt-out forms, okay? Anything that is a student video becomes an official student record. So we want to make sure that parents are comfortable with students being able to use video now that we're in this new online learning space. And we've been very careful about how we roll that out to make sure that both staff and students are protected. And just be mindful that, as anything else, anything that we do as educators represents the school and the classroom. And please don't share out school-related videos that have students in them at the moment, because we want to make sure that, again, we're protected. But any video can be recorded. I mean, any one of you could be sitting here right now using Screencastify to record me is sharing this with you. Or a cell phone can be used to record the screen as we're doing this, or as a student is watching the video later. Screencastify is designed to send a video to students, again, for that message, or for the the story, or to explain something in a screencast, so that students can watch it at any time. So you're sharing that out through email or video, and then those videos are out there and they can be watched anytime. So I will suggest that, you kind of make sure, and I think you all know this by now, just make sure that there isn't, if you don't want pictures of, maybe family or something else in the background, or anything that, shows exactly where you are, be mindful of that too. We say a plain nondescript background is good, but as long as you're comfortable with what's being shown in the background, like I like to show my plants because they make me happy. So I mean, that's totally fine. Just be mindful of that. I will suggest using your Somerville School District device, that whether it's the MacBook or the Chromebook that's been assigned to you, instead of using a phone. You can use a phone, that's fine. But the Screencastify is only going to be available through your MacBook or the Chrome browser. And if you have your phone on, you want to just be careful of location settings, letting anybody know exactly where you're posting from. Wear appropriate clothing, of course, but that doesn't mean you have to get dressed up like you would to go into school. Just be careful about that, and edit out any sensitive information. So we would not, for example, we would not want to go to real time and show students how to navigate something within real time, or show parents how to navigate something in real time, because we would be using live data, like live student data that would show addresses and phone numbers and other types of things that we can't share with people. So that would be something that we wouldn't do a screencast on. Chris does those screencasts, but he uses sample data so that we're not exposing any critical data for our students. Follow copyright and public domain laws. I will say that if you're trying to do a video and you do decide that you wanted to upload it to YouTube, for example, but you have music in the background, YouTube scans the music for copyright and won't let you post something if you're using a song that it is copyright protected. And then you just want to make sure that you review the video and make sure that you have the permission. You have permission from any other adult that's in your video. And no students are used at this time. And then you just click on that link to sign off there. I'm going to pop back over just to check in on you guys and see if you have any questions about that. All right, cool. Thank you. Good. All right. Awesome.
I still have that question we can get when we're done.
Yes. Yeah, I will. What I'd like you to do, if you can share one of those videos with me, just send me the link to it. I'll look at it and then it'll help me kind of, I'm very visual. So if I can see it, I can probably help.
Okay. Because I just tried to do it again and it's still I can't get my face up on the screen.
Okay. Well, we definitely
there's a reason for that.
So we don't want to miss out on that. I promise you. I will help you fix that.
Don't pick on the AARP generation.
No, I'm being sincere.
No,
I love that you're using this, Mike. It makes me very, very happy.
Hey, you have no idea. I can't believe I'm learning this stuff.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of you.
I feel so young right now.
Good. It's rejuvenating, right?
Me and Tucker, we're the only two men on here.
Well, I mean, you guys are usually a little outnumbered, but I'm proud of you for being here. So thank you.
Don't laugh, Karen.
It's very, very, very exciting and heartwarming to me to see so many of you wanting to learn this. So
I see you.
Let me just, I'm going to pop back over here and just show you one more thing before we go. This icon right here shows you more options. And if you click here, this shows you all of the recordings that you've ever done. So you can get it here through the browser tab itself by going to Screencastify and choosing those 3 lines. The other thing you can do is you can jump over to your Google Drive and type in Screencastify. And make this a little bigger for you. You'll see that once you create your very first video, Screencastify automatically gives you a Screencastify folder. So you can see that mine, I started in December 2015, and everything that I just showed you on that browser page is also displayed here in my drive. So I have all of these different videos that I've made. And again, if you wanted to change the title, because guaranteed, I don't remember exactly what I did on April 2nd at 10:33. But if I wanted to save that, if it was my period 1, welcome message, or if it was my screencast on how to navigate the accounting website or the math website, or it was my special story that I was reading to students, you want to rename them. So one way to rename them when you get into the Google Drive itself is you hold down the Control key on your MacBook and click. Okay, sorry, it's a little slow here. And then that opens up this option and you can choose to rename it. And you can just title whatever the movie is. Notice that it's always going to be .webm, and that is the file type for the video that will allow it to be seen on a web browser. And again, if I pop over here, these are all of the same exact things that were just over in my drive. So you'll never lose anything. If you want to delete something, you can always click on that trash can, or you can come over here and delete it directly from your Google Drive. I'm also going to share with you, like I said before, I have to reshare those, the directions on how to get the longer than 5 minutes. So I will show you that as well. I'll share that with you. And if you have any problems with it, let me know. When we get on to the 12 o'clock, the 12 o'clock meeting, that's where I'll show you how to edit in between. So if I had some space where I needed to cut something out, or I wasn't happy with something, I can go in and really chunk out each aspect of my video and then make that available to my students in the same ways. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, so I want to just end this with just a personal and professional message to you and to all of you. You know, this is just a very strange times for all of us, and the idea of creating videos has for students and for instruction has been around for a long time. But I got to tell you, myself included, there has to be, you know, there's a little bit of, you know, we can't be perfectionists in this, okay? We're doing our best. So you try your best as you move forward with this process. Go slowly. Practice a couple of things. Don't expect to be perfect right off of the bat, because nothing is ever going to be perfect. Don't be too critical of yourself. You know, sometimes we hear our voices on a voicemail or something, and we're like, oh God, you know, we can't stand the sound of our own voice because it sounds different to us. But that's okay. You know, where you're doing this for your students, you're doing this as a way to connect with them. You're doing this as a way to make sure that they have an experience with you, you know, from remote learning. And so just be really kind to yourself as you go through this process. Go slow, and don't pick yourself apart, because this whole experience is not easy. But the fact that you're trying, and the fact that you want to do this for your students and be able to connect with them, is a truly beautiful professional thing. And you should be really proud of yourselves for you know, learning, trying to learn this and trying to use it. So just remember, baby steps along the way. Pick one of those options to start with and practice with. Whether it's just the webcam, you know, talking to the computer, talking to your students to record that welcome message. Then as you get comfortable with that maybe you jump into the screencast part of it. Maybe start off by sending you know, a message to someone in your family, and, you know, just to kind of, you know, get your feet wet a little bit. Take it slow, be kind to yourselves. And if you need help along the way, please let me know. If there's a need for you or a colleague, or you know, someone else, or a small group, or just one-on-one to kind of do this again, absolutely, please reach out. And you know, if you want to join the 12 o'clock session and you feel like you're ready to jump into learning how to edit, please do. But if not, don't worry, we can always do another advanced session you know, later on in the next couple of weeks.